This is file number 252225SD, People versus Levon Colmer. That's you, sir? Mr. Colmer has a tracheotomy and he speaks with the aid of an electronic vocalizer. And so far, I've been able to understand everything that he has to tell me. His lawyer, Mr. David Moore, is here with us by Zoom. Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Abigail Stoll is here, and Matthew Huff is here. Mr. Colmer was charged with operating while intoxicated, pled to impaired driving. There was also a charge of failure to yield, and I'm not sure what happened to that charge. Let me look. File number here is 252225SD. Mr. Moore, what would you like me to know?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. My client is an older man. He's obviously manifestly had an issue with cancer. Hopefully he stays in remission. I'm aware of no violations while he's been on bond. We've asked him to get a private assessment and then follow through with the victim impact panel. He's done so. I don't think he has started the recommendations from the assessment, the private assessment, but I believe if we asked him to, he would complete it. Again, based on communication with him and his attitude towards these things. I had a chance to read over the sentencing recommendation from Mr. Huff. I appreciate the time and the knowledge that he put into that. My recommendation would be probation, fines and costs, and 10 days deferred. I know the probation agent has asked for 10 days with 6 deferred, but I would ask for, again, probation for a year, fines and costs, and 10 days deferred, Your Honor. Thank you.
Matt, you have the same concern I have. Mr. Colmer has a serious and significant alcohol addiction issue, which he does not acknowledge or address. What's your thought here?
Well, Your Honor, the more I took a look and the more I just kind of reflected on this case, I was alarmed by some of the case factors. To start off on a positive note, I was able to reach Mr. Colmer. He used another individual to help have that conversation over the phone. I think the conversation went relatively well, except for the fact that there seems to be potentially some underplaying of a relationship with alcohol.
Could you speak up? We're having trouble hearing you.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, I'll sit a little closer. So as the court had kind of alluded to, a little bit concerned about some potential substance abuse issues going on here. When I spoke with Mr. Colmer about how often he uses alcohol, he indicated every 4 to 6 weeks. His blood alcohol content was really high. Despite the fact that he was taken to the hospital for a blood draw, he was still almost 3 times the legal limit. And obviously, there's an accident involved in this as well, where he's coming back from White Pigeon from the Tomahawk Bar, and he's coming home at essentially rush hour, 6 o'clock. As everyone's getting out of work, he's on his way back. This is a weekday. So the case facts are bad. I don't enjoy making recommendations for additional jail, especially for individuals who have health concerns. But unfortunately, we've got a bad slew of cases like this where someone could easily die. And this is not Mr. Colmer's first go around. He had one in Elkhart about 10 years ago. The police report indicates that through the law enforcement information network, there was an additional one from 1969. I did not retain that on my copy of the criminal history, but I noted that it was in the police report. So I have some concerns about potential substance abuse or alcohol abuse. With that being said, Mr. Colmer said he would comply with any terms of probation. The biggest issue for us is essentially he doesn't live in our county. So it makes the recommendation for probation a little bit harder, but he indicated that he would comply with all terms of probation, including some substance abuse, which I believe, substance abuse testing, which I believe touches on protection of society. And I think that's the most relevant sentencing factor here today.
Ms. Stoll, what's your thought here?
I don't have much to add, Your Honor. I believe Matt's recommendation is appropriate, and I would ask the court to follow it.
I'm trying to look at my notes to see what we did with that failure to yield.
According to my notes, he admitted to the failure to yield.
All right, so that's what I thought. Here's my note. Yes, failed to yield, impaired. Impaired was a blessing on this set of facts. A point two. You pulled out in front of a semi and you almost killed yourself and the man that was driving the semi. Rush hour in St. Joe County is a lot different than rush hour on Lakeshore Drive. You were out in the country. You blew the stop sign. You were turning south to head back to Elkhart, and you hit this man's semi. He was from Pennsylvania, and you nearly killed yourself and could have killed him and other people behind there. You had a bottle of whiskey in the car. They didn't say what brand it was or what size it was. I don't know if it was a fifth, a quart, a pint, a half pint, but about a quarter of it was gone. You've been drinking at the Tomahawk, and I'm mad at the Tomahawk because they keep getting drunk driving cases coming out of there. You're drinking Kessler's and Diet Coke, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. October the 28th is a Tuesday. And you say you drink every 4 to 6 weeks. I don't believe that. I believe you drink every day.
No, I don't do.
Well, then you got quite a tolerance to get up to 0.21. And 3 Kesslers and Cokes won't get you to a 211. So you were good and drunk with your blood alcohol almost 3 times the legal limit. And you were going to drive all the way back to Elkhart. That's scary. What would you like me to know?
I know I'm not gonna drink anymore. I feel like I was really lucky that I did hurt someone, and that ain't happening no more. I just am not. I haven't had a job since.
You haven't had anything to drink since October 28th?
No.
Oh, that's a good sign. You live in Elkhart. You'll be 80 on your next birthday in April. And you're not gonna have easy driving privileges. Because of your medical issues, I don't believe they took you to jail. This is impaired driving, and the fail to yield fine is $120. And that's due within 30 days from today, which will be February 26th. It's on the inside flap here. 25X46068 I don't know why the civil infractions have such long numbers. That's the fail to yield. There's a $300 fine, $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee. I'll cut the screening fee in half for $50. I got a bunch of pens that don't work. There is no attorney fee. Matt, was there a police reimbursement here?
There wasn't one indicated in the police reports that I received from the prosecutor's office. It was Michigan State Police, and there was an accident with a blood draw.
All right, I'm gonna do MSP $200. Let's add that up. 300 plus 125 plus 150 plus 200, 775. I'm gonna give until March 26th. I looked at this case last week. Also looked at it again with some care this morning. This was almost a fatal accident. You pulled out on a 131 off Indian Prairie Road without stopping at the sign, hit this truck driver, and right front tire damaged his truck. He wasn't injured, or this would have been something else. Someone very near this intersection just got a prison sentence from Judge Stutzman because he killed somebody. We sure have a lot of accidents on 131. You have a previous conviction from Elkhart and a really old conviction, which means theoretically this would have been a felony third offense. Your blood alcohol was 3 times the legal limit, and there was open alcohol in the vehicle. And I believe you're underreporting the amount that you were drinking. Oh, if you hadn't had a drink since, that's a good start. You don't get a get out of jail free card. You get 2 days in jail, credit 0. Leaving 2 days to serve, which is going to start right now. You're going to jail. I could have done a lot more than this. I don't want to do a probation. You live in Elkhart, you stopped drinking. You've already done the victim impact panel, but you almost killed somebody, including yourself. 2 days is a gift. So you can go with a court officer. You owe the total of $845 on both of these things. First one's due February 26th. The second one's due March 26th. All right, you can go with a court officer.